What's up guys, it's Rogue here coming at you at the local scene with our good man. You've seen him on the channel before and he's giving us another deck profile today, so please do take it away.
So today we're going to be taking a look at my Gate Guardian profile. I haven't played the deck in about a month and a half to 2 months, but I did win a local tournament with it and the deck does perform incredibly well. So we'll get started with the profile. So I do apologise in advance for unsleeved cards, I haven't had a chance to sleeve them for today's. So to start with, we've got our 3 Gate Guardian pieces. These are absolute bricks in the deck. You do not want to be drawing into them. You have many avenues to search these out, as you'll come to see. A lot of people like to run these at 2 each. I think it's absolutely insane that people are running these at any more than 1. The way that you can get them back from graveyard, banish, anywhere, you can recur it back into your hand with your field spell and other spells. So 1 of each is the perfect ratio for these. Next up we have our 3 heavy tanks. So this is a normal summon for level 7 that essentially grabs you one of your 3 Gate Guardian pieces to either add it from your hand, graveyard, banish, place it in your spell and trap zone to then allow for players to go into your fusion monsters, which allow for a lot of the control that this deck provides. And when you've got the field spell on field, it allows you to pop a monster as well, just adding to that control element. Next up we have our Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. You're never summoning this monster. It is essentially discard, search for your field spell, and then whilst it's in grave, you can banish it whilst the field spell is in operation to pop a monster during the damage step. So this was incredibly useful as it doesn't target. Managed to get over someone's Mech Crusader Avramax with this because it doesn't target, it just pops. So that comes up quite often. Always remember that it's in your grave. Next up we have our Dasher and our Celestial. We're playing the DPE package. Very easy to go into with this deck. It just adds more control to the deck and is just fantastic. When I last played this deck, I did have a very interesting and quite funny interaction with our local hero player, Dewi, who has also showed up on the channel. He had me under Rivalry and Gozen with a Dark Claw and a Dark Angel on my side of the field. So I couldn't activate spells, couldn't, everything goes to the graveyard that could be banished instead. So I top decked my Dasher, tributed off the Dark Angel, which then allowed me to go into Super Poly, fusing his DPE and his Dark Claw together to make my own DPE, which was just absolutely insane, and all done under Gozen and Rivalry.
Part of the cards there.
It was part of the cards, exactly. So DPE package, next up, standard, 3 Ash Blossom. Card's just great, you always want to see it to interrupt your opponent's plays. Always useful against Branded as well, as we see a lot of that. Next up we have our Labyrinth Wall Shadow. This is easily the best card in the deck. You always want to have this card in operation. It is a floodgate preventing monsters that aren't level 5 or higher from attacking the turn they're summoned. So that shuts off Xyz from attacking, Lynx from attacking the turn they're summoned. It also allows you to get one of your Gate Guardian pieces into circulation, and also is a free pop for a monster that's got less than 1600 attack on the field at every opponent's battle phase. Next up we have our double attack Wind and Thunder. Quick play spell, allows you to pop a card on the field. Great for dealing with floodgates, any problematic cards your opponent controls. And then you've got the graveyard effect to banish, and again recur one of the 3 Gate Guardian pieces. Next up we're playing Fusion Deployment. This card's fantastic in this deck because we're always playing into our Gate Guardian fusions, and Gate Guardians combined requires Suijin, Kazuyan and Sangra the Thunder, so you can immediately just special summon one of them out for free with this card. So get them into rotation once again. Next up we have our 3 Fusion Destiny. Gets me into the DPE, not much else I want to say about that. Next up, this is the absolute best card in this deck for dealing with opponent's boards. Super Poly. We're playing all the targets in our extra deck. Mudragon, Garura, Dragus Depelia. Like I said, it also came into weird circumstances allowing me to make DPE. So Super Poly. Pot of Prosperity. Again, it's just that consistency piece allowing me to see the cards I really need to see to get the engine going. We're playing 1 Terraforming. It's essentially a 4th copy of a field spell that is absolutely essential for how the deck plays. Playing 1 Triple Tactics Talent. We've got a flex spot. May as well make use of a powerful card that can disrupt our opponent and punish them if they attempt to hand trap us. Next we're playing 3 skill drain. Once you've got your control set up with your Gate Guardian monsters, you've got big beat sticks on the field that some of them have got over 3,000 attack, some of them are in the high 2,000s. You can set up, get skill drain on field, and you're really laughing, to be honest, because there's not much they can do. Even if they get rid of the skill drain, if you're playing the wind and water one, you've still got 2 spell and trap negates to help disrupt extenders and any more problematic blowout cards. So skill drain always comes up as an MVP. And lastly, for the main, we've got 3 Tikaboo. Absolutely a very impactful card, this format. You know, when I was playing the past few weeks ago, you know, going against Mathmech, I can't remember many of the matchups. You know, we see Tikaboo, it really disrupts their lines of play, any sort of cyber strategy and other things. So Tikaboo allows me to control the board, and a lot of my monsters are all different types. Sanga's Thunder, Suijin Aqua, Kazaj and Spellcaster, so it gives me a lot of versatility. So that's it for the main. Moving on to the extra. So start with our fusions. We've got Mud Dragon, so Super Poly, Garura, Super Poly, Earth Golem at Igniter, again great for Super Poly against any cyber strategy. Really messed up a Marincess player in a real when I last played this, and that was entertaining to see as Coral and Emily get fused with one of his other monsters. Always entertaining. DPE, playing the DPE package. Dragus Depelia, always useful against things like Branded. Then for our Gate Guardian monsters, we've got our Wind and Water, so twice per turn spell and trap negate. It's great to deal with things like Evenly, Harpy's Feather Duster, anything that's going to help your opponent get the victory, and even stops crucial extenders. So always play 2 of them, because it's the most, you know, versatile one. Next up, we've got Thunder and Wind. Essentially just searches you a spell that mentions any of the 3 Gate Guardian monsters, so just helpful to get that double attack Wind and Thunder spell out to help pop and deal with your opponent's board. Next up we have Water and Thunder. This one very, very rarely comes up. In fact, I don't think I've actually ever summoned it. All it does is target monsters your opponent controls, change its attack to 0, and that allows you to do it twice per turn. With the control that this deck already presents with the skill drains, the spell and trap negates, it's very rare we see this one, but if you're in a pickle where you've only got the Suijin and the Sanga, it can be useful to just put a bit of oppression on the opponents. Next up we've got Trifle Veritum. Very rare this comes up, but in things like Branded where there's lots of dark monsters on the field and you can Super Poly, it's absolutely great to deal with 3 difficult targets. And then we have 2 combined. This is a thrice per turn negate if it targets any of your Gate Guardian things. Basically, if it just targets a card I control, I can negate, and that's thrice per turn, which is absolutely insane. And it's always great telling your opponent, yes, that's thrice per turn, not once. Out of the fusions, we're now into just some XEs. So I'm playing 1 Big Eye. This just helps deal with those monsters that are difficult to deal with on your opponent's board. And then, if ever, I go into my Zeus just to help deal with that. And then just cause disruption for the opponent's turn. Show off the 25th century Zeus. And then, lastly, we have Lingaribo. The amount of times I get hit by an evenly matched guy comes to our locals, plays Mech Knights with Evenly in the main. It's pretty useful to just set that up, especially with his Ibly lock as well. So that's the main reason I'm running it, for the Ibly lock, and then it can help with the Evenly. Lastly, we'll just go into our side deck. Pretty standard stuff. 3 Gamma Seal, helpful to deal with those destructive cards. D-Shifter, the amount of control we can provide with our traps and our spells. D-Shifter also adds to this. It doesn't really matter too much if our Gate Guardian pieces get banished. We've got means of recurring them back into our hand anyway. So D-Shifter is always useful. Next, we've got 2 Lightning Storms and a Harpies, just to deal with back row decks and any kind of problematic boards. Next we have Anti-Spell. Again, it's another good floodgate. Once we're set up with our control turn 1, flip Anti-Spell, there's not much they can do. And then lastly, we're just playing 3 evenly matched. Great for going second, just deals with oppressive boards. So that kind of concludes the Gate Guardian profile. Bought some packs to finish the video off, and hoping we can get some nice pulls.
What a guy.
Just
Good to see.
contributing to the channel.
Very much so.
So, first pack. Just to say, these are the last 5 packs in the box, so I haven't heard of anyone pulling anything good, so fingers crossed. Protection of the Elements, Link Decoder, Performer Pal, Black Mamba, and my now
alright.
5th copy of IP Masquerena from Battles of Legend. I'll leave these. Punk, Shogi Rook, Ghost Sleeper, Numbers Last Hope, Photon Jumper. I don't know how many of those I've pulled.
Yeah, they seem to be quite common. They really do. It's a 3-ob though in the Photon deck.
It
I've
is,
seen.
so I've already got my playset. Sage of Benevolence, Puppet Rook, Performer Pal, Xyz Bento, Junk Archer. Good for Edison, so guess I can good to count.
Yeah.
Lamia, Promotion, Puppet Pawn, Section, and Ptolemaeus.
That one could have been QCR.
It could have
It
been.
could have been. That one comes in QCR.
It does. It's one of the cheaper ones, I believe.
There's an IP as well, I think.
It is. That's the most expensive card in the set. Xeamine, Black Mamba, Quick Fix, Photon, and an Assault
that wasn't
Synchron.
too bad.
That's not too bad. So, decent pulls. Sadly, no QCR, but there we are.
Let's go.